Greetings, math fans. All right, so today is the last unit on chapter 7, which is square roots and complex numbers. Okay, so actually a pretty quick topic here. We're gonna deal with square root of -1, or I should say I in the denominator. Now we've kind of done that already. Just to kind of review real quickly, if I had 2 over 3 minus 4i, right, you're gonna multiply by the conjugate, because remember, you're not allowed to have the I in the denominator because it's like having the square root of -1 in the denominator. So we're going to say 3 plus 4i. We're going to multiply the top and the bottom by 3 plus 4i. Okay, so on top you get 2 times 3, right? You make sure you distribute. So it's going to give us 6, and 2 times 4i is plus 8i. And the denominator, I'm going to get 3 times 3 is 9. Remember, the oi cancels, and you're left with just Florida. So it's 9 and then minus 16i squared. Okay, and of course that's plus 16 here. So my answer is really 6 plus 8i over 9 plus 16, which is 25, and that's my answer. Okay, so basically what we're going to do now is we're going to do very much the same thing as far as like no square roots in the denominator, but now we're just going to have, let me just start with a regular problem here, like 3 over I. You're not allowed to have that I in the denominator, so you got to get rid of it somehow. Now, if you guys remember, we had I to the 0, I to the 1, I to the 2, and I to the 3, right? And you get these numbers here by dividing by 4. So whatever that number is, you divide it by 4, and then you have a remainder. Remember, if it's 0.00, it's remainder 1 because there's no quarters. If it's 0.25, it's 1 quarter, so it's I to the 1. If it's 0.50, it's 2 quarters, remainder 2, and if it's 0.75, it's 3 quarters, so it's remainder 3. So the deal is, I want to get this to be a remainder of 0. Okay, I want to get that to be a remainder of 0. So when I divide by 4, it has to be 0.00, right? So this is my ultimate goal. I'm kind of like trying to talk this through a little bit. My goal is to get this to be I to the 4th. Because if that's I to the 4th, if you divide 4 by 4, of course you get 1 remainder 0. And that's what we want. We want a remainder of 0. Because anything is 0, power is 1. Okay, so again, our goal is to get the denominator equal to I to the 4th. And how do we get, so let me write this out here again. So how do we get this guy right here to be I to the 4th? Well, we multiply the top and the bottom by what? I cubed over I cubed. Remember, you make sure you multiply the top and the bottom by the same thing, right? So I to the 1st times I to the 3rd is I to the 4th. And the top is 3i cubed. So now here's the deal. What's I to the 4th? Well, we just said it's equal to 1. So we have, that's 1. And what's I cubed? Well, remember, here, let me erase these arrows here so we can write down what I cubed is. So just to let you know, I to the 0 is 1, I to the 1 is I to the 2 is -1, and I to the 3 is -I. So again, you look at this and you say, oh, 3i cubed, so it's 3 times -I, right? I cubed is -I over 1. So my answer is -3i. Okay? All right, so that's our goal. Our goal is to get that to be I to the 4th. So let's do a couple problems here. They're really not difficult. You just have to practice. Okay, so let's do 4 over 5i. Pretty basic one. Okay, I need this I to be, so it's an I to the 1st, I need it to be I to the 4th. So pretty much every time, guys, you're going to multiply by I cubed over I cubed. Okay, that's going to give you on the bottom 5i to the 4th, which is what we want. On the top, it's 4i cubed. So you guys should recognize I to the 4th is 1, so it's just 5. And 4i cubed, again, look at your little chart, but I cubed is -I. So my answer is -4i over 5. Okay? Right? Really pretty easy. Those are really the kind of problems that you're gonna have just with an I in the denominator like that. Okay? So let me just do a couple more here. 7 over 2i. it's like you're doing the same thing every time. You're multiplying this by I cubed over I cubed to give you I to the fourth in the bottom. So it's 2I to the fourth, and on top it's 7I cubed. This is just equal to 2, because 2 times 1. And I to the third is negative I. Again, you're looking at your little chart. So your answer is negative 7I over 2. Okay? That's really it, math fans. So I'll do a couple more, but that's kind of it. I mean, it's not really a lot to it. So 8 over 3I. Okay, multiply by I cubed over I cubed. So you get 8I cubed over 3I to the fourth. I to the fourth is 1, so it's just 3. I cubed is negative I. So my answer is negative 8I over 3. Gosh, it's really easy. Okay, I mean, if I can make it a little bit more challenging. What if I said negative 5 over 7I? Okay, so I multiply by I cubed over I cubed. So it's negative 5I cubed over 7I to the fourth. So that I to the fourth is 1, so it's just 7 times 1. And on the top, it's negative 5, and then I cubed is negative I. So my answer is negative times negative is a positive, so 5I over 7. That's your answer. Okay? It's like less than a 7-minute video, but that's literally what all the what it's all about here. I guess one more problem. I'm looking at the homework right now. One more problem, and then I promise we'll be done. Okay? So if I give you 4 plus 7I over 3I. So it's the same thing, guys. I'm not doing anything fancy. I need that to be 3I to the fourth, so I'm going to multiply by I cubed over I cubed. It's really pretty easy. So on the bottom, I get 3I to the fourth. And on top, so multiply that out. 4 times I cubed is 4I cubed. Negative 7I times I cubed, right? It's just add those together, so it's negative 7I to the fourth. Everybody agree with that? Okay, remember, you're not allowed to have any exponents in that I. So this 4I cubed is going to be 4 times negative I minus 7I to the fourth is 1. And on the bottom is 3 times 1. So my answer is negative 4I minus 7 over 3. And that's it. Okay? So hopefully you guys are good to go. Make sure you do the homework, and there's a lot of stuff with this chapter. It's a long chapter. So hopefully you guys are good to go and you're studying for this stuff, so you know what's going on for the test. All right? That's it, math fans. Have an outstanding day. Adios. Goodbye.